Hi everyone, welcome again to another tying session. This one, I mean obviously if you've been following the last 2 or 3 videos, I have been tying quite a lot of wet flies, Irish, especially Irish patterns. Now I'm going on to a fly that's going to either give you the shot much like the fish, but this is a, here we go, if you need a bright fly, this is a bright fly. Or you need a fly when everything else fails, this is one to have. This is the type of fly that you put on when, just basically if you're struggling, or if you want to attract fish to your cast, that will certainly draw fish. I know it's an unusual looking colour combination, but it's certainly worth having a go. Now this has been called a few different names over the years, as this colour. My kids call it looks like a Haribo, which is a sweetie we get here. Some say it's like the Tequila Blob type colours because of the Chartreuse and sort of red at the back. But you call it what you like. It's a good style, it's a good colours, as I say, it's an attractive pattern. So I'm going to tie it. Hook I'm using, this is a full mill, it's the competition heavyweight, size 10. Thread I'm going to be using, this is the Guinea 80 in fire orange. So I'm just going to put the thread on, give yourself about maybe around about 4 mil from the eye. Now I'm actually going to tie in the tail on the way down. Now the 2 colours I'm using, it's number 11, which is the Chartreuse, and number 4, the stickers came off, I don't know where it went. But this is the Chartreuse, this is the Glo-Brite, as you can see it's fluorescent floss. Basically it's a fine floss that basically can be used as a thread. I've many times used it as a thread. It's very good for doing tags and such like, but it's also good if you, there's basically 10 lengths of the fine fibre in together here, and normally I would just brush it together so that they work. Now the combination, normally you can put whatever way you want to do it, but normally I would put the darker colour on the top, which is the red. So I'm going to tie this on the way down, which is unusual. I'm not tying it onto like a layer of thread. You can do this, but what you have to do is basically put the shank into the floss, just pull it down into the floss, and then take the thread towards the back. It's a quick way of doing it and still keep it nice and strong. Take a wee turn underneath, which I like to do, just to lift the fibre and then trim it. The length could be the shank length or less, it's up to yourself. So I'll be just slightly less, so I'll trim it there. You can fluff the tail up. Now the rib of the fly, now if you're struggling with a wee bit of bulk, I do is, there's times and you will, use a fine gold wire, or in my case I'm using an oval. This is an oval gold tinsel, this is a small. You can use what you like. But the wire is much easier to tie off, meaning it's thinner, gives you a smaller head, because this fly there's quite a lot on it. The body of the fly, in this case this is a Sunburst, it's quite a dark Sunburst seal's fur. Now I'm actually going to tie it in the way up, I'm going to keep it quite thin, I don't want to go up and back down. So I'm just going to secure in the rib as I wind up with the dubbing. So I'm just going to tighten it, and then wind up, getting it nice and tight, which will secure in the rib and keep it reasonably thin. Now you can bulk it up to suit yourself, it's up to you, and then we just work up, make sure I've got enough to get all the way up. As you see where I am here, I need a wee touch more. I try to make it work, but it was just a wee bit short. Go back, get a wee drop more dubbing. Just going to come down a wee bit, and then work onto that. Stroke back these fibres with your fingers, a couple of turns just to lock them out of the way. That's fine, it's just to give them the colour. Now for the Hackle, body Hackle, I'm using the Sunburst. This is it's an old Met's saddle I had, it's the micro barb, it's quite a short fibre, which is more bumble like in the body, this, not too long, but you could have a long fibre on it if you want. I mean I've tied them with a long hackle, I do like it, but there's going to be other hackles, so by keeping the hackle short in the body, and then you've got the longer hackles going on front, it helps it to taper. So we do a turn at the top and then we work our way through. I like, when I'm into, so you've got a turn or two at the top, then this is into my third turn. Before I come round though, I come round, catch it. Now you can put more turns on if you like, or you can just keep it the way it is, or even less if you want. So a good, around about 5 turns up the body, then as I always do, just roll my fingers through the hackle to draw it back. Catch in my hackle, sorry, in my rib. Nice and tight. Trim away. As I say, it does get a wee bit bulky, so just be careful. Give yourself, I'm going to be winding the hackle on this area here, so half it's going to be the hackle. I've got the throat and then the wing, so I'm making space for that. So I'm making sure the rib is secure. What I'm doing there with my nail is just flattening the end of the oval tinsel. So there's my hackle, it's going to come in, trim it out. Now this is the rump feather, it's normally yellow, it's been dyed hot orange. This is from the golden pheasant. So take one of the feathers out, just take away the fluff. We tie it in by the tip. Just draw the fibres back that you want for your hackle. Just going to trim this and leave enough to tie it on. Obviously wax your thread, secure it on. Get my hackle pliers here, so take my fingers out the way. And then I'm going to obviously fold it back. Now I want to try and keep the hackle open, not too close to each turn, just slightly making sure that you're working your way up, and then catch it on nice and tight. Trim away. Oops. Looks fine. Legs. Now you could use natural knotted pheasant tail. This is pheasant tail been knotted. This is hot orange. Another good colour would be claret, works with this. But I'm going to stick to this. Is a dark piece. This is one of the tails I had where it was quite dark, dyed hot orange, and it's quite a burnt looking orange so that it sits out. So you're looking for 6 legs. You want to separate them so there's 3 either side of the shank. Now I like to come up from underneath like this, so that I'm using the hook to separate them. Come around with 2 or 3 turns, they're reasonably loose, and then tighten up. It's an unusual fly, this style of fly. Many people are wondering what you're trying to do here. I mean, and when you're fishing the lochs in Ireland, this is a style of fly that's fished a lot, and it works. Now this here would be, as I say, an attractor like pattern. Certainly catch anyone's eye. Some say it would probably allow the fish, or frighten the fish that much they would jump in the boat, but you never know. But it is that type of fly it's an attractor pattern, bright, coloured water, dark water, that'll work. Now for the throat, I'm using a magenta dyed, or well, it's actually, when you get magenta dye, as long as you don't put too much in, it will go quite dark. If you put in like either a fluorescent pink, it'll give you the colour, but the magenta dye does this. So just remove the fluff. I'm going to put a throat on, so I just bring it 90 degrees from the stem of the feather. What I'm trying to do here is just line up the ends. Once the ends are close to lining up, or lined up, just tail them off, roll it within your fingers. If there's a wee curl on them, just roll it, this will help sort of work them together. And then you want to throw it, simple throw it, can be short, can be long, it's up to you. I would say towards the point of the hook, just catch it underneath, pinch and loop up the way, 2 or 3 turns. See, you want to see it. This is like the Gorgeous George getting close to this. The octopus is obviously gives impression with the golden pheasant rump. Now what I do here is I use this finger here to push the thread out the way. Come in, you want a good sharp pair of scissors. Try and get it all at once. Some wax on your thread, screw it in. Now this is some elk hair, dyed yellow. There's a wee piece I had actually, it was which I dyed, just a nice bit of yellow. This just balances it, so you're looking for the wing towards the back of the hook, just hold that. Just come in near the cut end, so I've cut it before I tie it on, and then I'm just going to come through these cut ends using my thread to make sure they're secure. I'll tidy it up a wee bit more. See how it's sitting. And then this is optional, you can put jungle cock eyes on it if you want. But I'm going to put 2 on here. I'm just using up the smaller eyes now. One of the capes I have, I used up all the split ones. Now I'm using up the whole eyes. So what I'm doing, I've got 2 eyes here, making sure they're lined up, both the same length. Just look from the top down, you want them up into the wing a wee bit. You can have them in line with the shank, it still works. Either, whatever way they sit, whenever you tie them on, have a wee quick look. So as I say, I'm putting both on at the same time. Just check your side, I'm checking my side. Just checking the length. I always get the far side one a different length. Like even just now I've got a different length, so I'm just going to pull it in. That's fine. Now once I'm happy, and then I secure them in. So I usually come down towards the eye and then fold back the stems. And I build up the head. I mean, you want a bright head. Just going back here, I want a bit of wax. When you're winding over a shiny or a glossy type feather like a jungle cock and you're folding it back, you need to wax it. So once you're happy, keep the thread tight, you get a nice bright head, you can whip finish. And you can use the whip finish to tidy up as well and form a shape in the head. Nice and tight. Trim that away. Didn't do a good job there, I've got a wee bit of length there. And then you can either break these off or just lift them out, trim them out. Sometimes they tear off, but I've used this cape here and they're a wee bit stubborn, so I'm just going to trim them away. And there we are. So now all I have to do, a couple of coats of varnish, obviously. I'll do the first one, let it obviously dry. I usually just touch the head and rotate my vise. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And again, thanks for watching.